there's a massacre in this movie. Like, straight up. A whole village of people are rounded up like cattle, forced out of their homes into a swamp, where they're then eaten alive by alligators as the only survivors watch on and listen to their screams. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. So Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island blew my 8-year-old mind. The first in a long line of direct-to-video Scooby-Doo films to cash in on the increased interest in the franchise after reruns in the 90s, this film felt like a huge deal at the time. The film follows the iconic Mystery Inc. gang, Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and of course Scooby, as they reunite after a year-long hiatus to help Daphne make content for her new haunting investigation TV show. After a series of dead ends where once again the monster turns out to just be someone in a rubber suit, Daphne is about to call it a day and resign to the probable conclusion that they'll never find a real haunted house. Something that, as Velma says, is kind of an oxymoron. That is until they get a new lead in New Orleans, when they meet Lena Dupree, a young lady who claims to work in a real haunted house on Moonscar Island, which is allegedly plagued by the ghost of the pirate Morgan Moonscar. The gang investigate, certain that this will be a case of another costume crew trying to scare the locals, but no, mate! There's friggin' zombies! Man, I gotta tell you, the moment that Fred yanked the head off a zombie thinking he was just gonna unmask some creep was a formative moment for me as a kid.
It's the ferryman! Oh, maybe it's real!
I had never seen zombies before, I don't think. I think this was my first exposure to them, outside of maybe like a couple of SNES games where they were enemies. This was incredible. I honestly believe if you traced back my love of horror to its origin, this scene would be somewhere amongst the roots. I wasn't kidding when I said it blew my 8-year-old mind. This was amazing, because Scooby-Doo didn't do real monsters until, like, suddenly they did? What the hell? That's incredible! I was a little worried going back to this as an adult that my nostalgia of it would be shattered. But you know what? This direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movie made for children is a fucking banger, no matter what age you are. Is it an all-time zombie classic? You know what? Sod it, I'm gonna say it. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is an all-time great zombie movie. And I genuinely mean that. This film is shockingly good and has aged so well. This is a well-written film. There's a genuine mystery here with a compelling slow build as the paranormal occurrences drip feed into the narrative. Starting with creepy messages, then ghosts caught in the background of camera shots, red herrings and twists and turns that, I don't know, I think I might not have seen coming had I not watched this already when I was younger. It's hard to say for sure, as I certainly wasn't able to tell where they were going with things when I was a kid, but now watching it back and knowing the outcomes, I kinda think these might be pretty good surprising twists. There is a reason I'm not saying where things go besides there are really zombies. And speaking of the zombies, man, are they done well. I love how they all look totally unique, and not just in the way that they're slight variations of each other, but they literally look like they're from completely different periods. You have pirate zombies, tourist zombies, Civil War zombies, gangster zombies? It's a little thing, but it just paints a rich world. The implication that this island has taken hundreds of victims over hundreds of years is both narratively compelling and visually interesting. And you know why I'm saying this is an all-time great zombie movie? Look at this scene from the first zombie horde attack. This is excellent. Look at the atmosphere with the full moon, the smoky fog and the swampy marshes. Look how they surface from the water and the dirt. Look at the stark shadows accentuated by the moonlight glow stretching over the hill behind our fleeting heroes. Look at Daphne's pupils dilating in terror, the torsos walking on their own. This is horror. This is like proper full-on zombie horror vibes. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still Scooby-Doo. It's not scary and it's full of the hijinks you'd come to expect of this Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but at least aesthetically speaking, this is a full-on zombie horror mood. And also, this whole bit of action is set to an absolute banger of a mid-2000s pop-punk track, even though this film was made in 1998, because of course it fucking is, because it's ahead of its time and it fucking rules! Great characters, excellent setting, brilliant animation, it's full of genuine mystery, intrigue, horror and action, and it's the perfect mix of fun Scooby-Doo hijinks with actual threat and danger. It's tonally right in this perfect hotspot of evolving on the beloved Scooby-Doo formula without ever straying into overly self-serious and adult territory or betraying the characters it's paying tribute to. The only thing I did notice at first is the voice actors sounded a little off, but not to the point where I was absolutely certain this wasn't the original cast. But I looked it up and sure enough, everyone but Fred was a recasting coming to the roles for the first time. Interesting bit of trivia actually, the original voice actor for Shaggy, Casey Kasem, was actually supposed to reprise the role, but he'd gone vegan and would only do the film if Shaggy the character also followed suit on that. And the film had already gone into production and they'd wrote and storyboarded scenes where Shaggy was eating crawfish, so they just decided it was more of a headache than it was worth. You do get used to this pretty quickly though, and everyone doing those roles for the first time totally nails the performances. The only jarring part is the initial unfamiliarity. They still all do a great job. Also, Mark Hamill's here.
Lot smarter than any dog, too. Now get these trespassing tourists off of my boat. I got fishing to do.
That's not relevant to any of my critique, but that's Mark Hamill, so that's cool. Oh, and I suppose one other minor criticism is the Hex Girls have not yet been introduced in this movie. They were so cool. I thought it was this film they came in, but it's Witch's Ghosts and I was getting them confused. This is on me, of course. Doesn't change the fact that I was heartbroken and disappointed though. So yeah, be you adult or child, if you have any fondness for this franchise, any love or nostalgia for the IP at all, or hell, even if you don't and you just want a good zombie movie you can watch with any audience, be it a kid or your horror-phobe friends, then I can almost guarantee you will have a good time with this one. Yes, it is a direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movie, but it's fucking awesome. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to comment with your own suggestions for what you think makes a good wholesome Halloween, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to my OnlyDans so that you don't miss tomorrow's video.